Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Happy Friday. We're here for money, mindset, and lifestyle money talk. So let's talk about giving yourself some financial breathing room. This is like right on time because as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, the news feed, whatever, popped up with the new record of consumer credit card debt. It has now reached $1.08 trillion. And this is the highest it's ever been. Now, there is a lot of factors that are connected to that. But I'm going to talk specifically about giving yourself some financial breathing room so that we are not putting ourselves in more consumer credit card debt, which is usually that bad debt, right? That we're not gaining any value on, we're not getting any return on that debt. There's no investment involved in that. It's just more of us buying things or having to use it to get through an unexpected expense or an emergency that we weren't expecting and not being financially prepared. So we're swiping our card. Or it could be that someone is using their credit cards as an extension of their income or whatever it may be. So I'm going to go through some things I just want to talk about real quick, right? To give yourself some financial breathing room so that you don't end up in that cycle of the $1.08 trillion of credit card debt that United States currently has. Before I go too much further into this, I'm Nisha Richardson, the Play Money Coach, and I work with high achieving women who want to manage their money like a boss so they have more play money to do the things they enjoy. And as you guys are watching, let me know where you are watching from and put your comments in the comment section so that I can answer them as I go. But talking about giving yourself some financial breathing room, right? I want to point on the fact that credit cards are not an extension of your income. So the women that I work with, they are making great money, right? Usually in the high five figures, six figures income. And when we work together, we look at their finances and we get very clear on where their money is going every single month. And a lot of people and a lot of my clients, they have credit card debt, right? Just from decisions that they've made in the past or current decisions, or they may even be thinking about making another financial decision that is going to put them in a space where they may have to use their credit cards. I use credit cards for good debt and to invest as well. So I'm not saying that credit cards is bad, but we need to be intentional about how we use them and also have a clear plan on how we are going to pay them off ASAP so that we're not paying tons of interest on them and defeating the purpose of using the credit card. So some people get into a space where that income comes in, that higher income comes in. It's exciting, right? Like I know I've been there before. If you've been there before, put in the comments like, yes, I love the higher income. I just got a raise, I got a promotion, I got a bonus, whatever it may be. That extra income comes in and it gets exciting. And then we start thinking about all the things that we can buy. It's like, oh, now I got more money. I can maybe upgrade my car, or we can go on more vacations, or I can do some cosmetic stuff that maybe I wasn't able to do when my income was lower. I can start doing more stuff with my kids, buying them more things that they need. I can start doing more stuff around the house. All these things come up and we get really excited about spending that money. But what ends up happening is we don't pause for a moment and think long term. We're like so in that moment that we're just ready to spend. And we don't think about the long term effects of that decision that we made. So maybe if you're upgrading your car, right? And you say, you know what, my car payment used to be, let's say, $300. Now I have this increased income. I have more money coming in every month. I can get the $700 car payment and get that car that I've always dreamed of. And you don't think about, wait a minute, what do I desire? What are my goals? What is the lifestyle that I want to live? Does that lifestyle that I want to live, does that mean I'm debt free, right? Or does that mean I have less expenses every month? Or is that lifestyle one that I don't care about debt, right? I just want to maybe have a lot of money in your savings account or whatever it may be. So get first clear on what you want your life to look like, right? Before you make those big decisions. After you're clear on that and you say, okay, I want to upgrade my vehicle and I'm going to go ahead and get that $700 car payment. Now think, do you want to have that $700 car payment for the next 4 or 5 or 6 years, right? However long your loan is, right? can you afford to maintain that car? Because you do need oil changes, you need car registrations, you need to replace tires, you need to like do all the things to maintain this vehicle while you have it and you're paying the $700 payment. So, can you truly afford this vehicle with all the maintenance and everything else that comes along with that 700 or however much $100 payment every single month, right? Do you drive enough to where it even matters for you to have a $700 or $800 car payment? Is it just sitting in your driveway, or is it something that you're just like, I just want it to look good, but yet it's decreasing in value the moment that you drove it off the lot? By the time you are ready to sell it or you want to do something with it, you're probably upside down on your loan, which means you owe more on the vehicle than what it's actually worth. And now you have a liability that you can do nothing with a $700-800 payment every single month that you now have to pay for 4 or 5 6 years, right? Is that something that you really want to have for the next 4 to 5 6 years, right? So slow down and think about that, because life is great, right? Right in this moment. And maybe that feels good, but maybe in a couple of years you don't want to work as hard, or you don't want to have to worry about bills. You want to just pay everything off. And now that you have that additional $700 or $400 increase in a payment that you have to pay, now that slows down your progress to reaching your financial goals. Maybe you want to use that extra $400 so that you can put it in your financial freedom fund so that you can start saving more to get to financial freedom. Maybe you want to start investing more into your retirement account so that you'll have more money when you actually retire and you're living your best life right now, right? Maybe you want to put that money into your children's college fund. Maybe you want to just put that money aside so you have more play money to do the things that you enjoy so that you're not stressing about bills so much. Maybe you just want to not do anything with that extra money so that you can give yourself some financial breathing room so that if something comes up, you don't have to stress about swiping a credit card or taking out another personal loan to get you from one thing to the next, right? So think about that. If you're someone that's using credit cards as an extension of your income, now is the time to not do that, because it's just going to put you in a cycle where you're constantly paying off credit card debt and you're never getting ahead with the extra income that you have coming in, right? Um, the other thing is, if you're in a space, because I see this often, where people get really comfortable with taking out personal loans or taking out lines of credit on their mortgage, home equity loan lines of credit, and home equity loans to get them from one place to the next. I mean, first, that's the beautiful thing about a home equity and having it as an asset and having equity in your home, right? You can use it, right, to leverage it, right? But I find that sometimes people get in a space where they're like, oh, I have this money available, so we're just gonna go and we're gonna pull from this, with there's no plan, no game plan on how to pay it back. They're already living paycheck to paycheck, like very close to not having any extra money at all. And there's just no plan. Like, it's just, let's just use this thing, but there's no long-term plan of how to take care of it so that you can not stay in that cycle. And I was on a call. It was actually a group workshop a couple of months ago, and someone asked, they said, we have a home equity loan that we want to take out, and we have another property, and we want to take out another one. But the interest rate, we have 0% interest rate for 12 months. And then after that, it goes up. And I don't really know what we should do. And I didn't know this person's personal financial situation. So it was really difficult for me to give her like specific advice on her or suggestions on her situation. But it was a red flag for me, because it's like, why are you taking, or why do you feel the need to take out another home equity loan on top of what you currently have? What situation are you in to where you do not have enough cash flow to get you from one month or wherever you are to the next, where you have to be in the cycle of taking out multiple home equity loans and lines of credit to get you from where you have to go? If it is a loss of income, okay, I understand that. So that's why we need to give ourselves some financial breathing room so that we have space to save money, right? To put money aside so that in the event we lose any of our income, we know that we're covered for 3 or 6 months or a year, right? Before we're depleted, right? So that is why it's very important that you give yourself financial breathing room. The other thing is, if you find that there's something that you truly want to invest in, and you know that all of your money is not tied up to expenses, that allows you to make empowered money moves, because now you're looking at it from a place of abundance versus lack and scarcity. Like, oh my God, we need to make this next big thing happen, and we're going to do whatever we're going to do. Like, we're going to just jump out the window and hope that it works, versus having a clear plan, right? Having the extra money to cover it in the event that it doesn't go as well as you thought, or it doesn't happen as quickly as you thought, because you have that financial breathing room. It allows you to make decisions from a place that you can really think clearly and not feel like you have to rush or feel like your back is against the wall. When you know that let's say you have to take out a personal loan because maybe something happened in your home, and you're like, you know what, we need this $5,000 so that we can repair this thing in the house. And, we can pay $135 a month because we have excess cash flow every month that we don't have tied to bills, right? You could also accelerate now paying off that loan because you have the extra money every month without stressing about whether or not you can cover that extra payment. So it's very important that we don't get in that cycle of taking out loans from our 401k, taking out loans from our home equity just because, and we're not doing it to reinvest, to grow it, and then be able to pay back off that loan, right? And that's where it comes in with us. That's the importance of us having that financial breathing room. I find that we're in like a weird space right now where it's like some people are like doing really well financially, and there are a lot of people that are not. And it's something that a lot of people are not talking about publicly. Obviously, people want to maintain their image, right? They want to maintain that they're doing okay, but there's a lot of people that are not doing okay. Excuse me. And I think this is like the perfect time for people to really take a moment and look at their relationship that they have with their finances. Look at how they're managing their money. Look at the way they're spending their money. Look at the way they're feeling about their money and the decisions that they are making or have made, and how that's affecting where they are now, right? Because for some people, it's a matter of you have more than enough money to cover you, to invest, to save, to do all the things that you want, but you're not taking the time to really look at your finances and figure out where everything is going and create the plan, which is what I do with my clients, right? Or you're not taking the time to really work through some of the things that you have experienced with your finances, and now that's showing up now, right? Now you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't manage money because that last time I had that big increase or that big bonus, I just blew it and I don't know where it went. Oh my goodness, the last time I got a raise, I just blew it. I balled out of control. And now I'm in a lot of debt because I didn't know how to manage that increased income. So now, one, you're blocking more money from coming into you because you're afraid that you don't know how to manage it well and you're going to mess it up, which is why clients come to me, right? Or you're afraid that you're going to make another mistake like you did before. Maybe you loaned a lot of money to someone and they never paid it back. Now you have that resentment, that guilt, right? Or maybe you just never learned financial literacy skills and it was something that no one ever talked to you about. So now you're just winging it. And now that's exactly what's happening with your finances. Every month you're just winging it versus reaching out and asking for help. My inbox is always open, right? Or if you know someone that you trust, that's a family member, a friend, ask for help. It is okay. Like, there are so many people that truly do not know how to manage their money in a way to get them from one paycheck to the next so that they are able to cover their needs, cover their wants, and also save and invest their money. And no one wants to talk about it because everyone's embarrassed, or they think like, oh my goodness, I'm 40 years old and I should know this. Why should you know this? Who was supposed to tell you this? Well, now is the time to like raise your hand and say, I need some help because I do not know it, because I am making really great money, but yet I'm not seeing the reward of the money that I'm making. There's also some of us, right, who has been in a job for very long, and we've been loyal to that employer. And now it's time to like start looking at either negotiating a higher salary or cutting ties and going somewhere else that's going to pay you a higher income. Because if you are in a space where you are working hard every day, but yet you're having a difficult time paying your bills, now you need to start increasing your income. Like that's the only alternative, right? Or just start cutting all of your expenses, which for a lot of us, there's no more to cut, right? And who wants to keep cutting when we can actually be adding, right? And increasing our income and living the lifestyle that we desire, right? So I want you to also get clear on that. Do you need to make some more money? And the first step in realizing that you need to make some more money is finding that clarity. Find out what is happening with your money every single month. I know for some people, looking at the numbers is scary. It gives them anxiety. They get like really like, oh my goodness, I can't do this on their own, on my own. Well, that's when you reach out to me, right? Because for some people, they don't want to look at it. It's like if I stick my head in the sand or I don't pay attention to it, it's going to go away and then I don't have to worry about it. Well, newsflash, that it doesn't work that way. It only gets worse, right? If you don't look at your credit card bills, you're going to have late payments and it's going to keep piling up, right? If you don't look at your monthly bills, you're going to have late payments and overdraft charges in your bank account. If you don't look at how you're spending your money, you're going to end up in debt. And you could have prevented it from happening just by taking some time to really look at what's really happening in your finances. Um, I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah. So first, if you are making great money and you don't see where it's going, have the reality check with yourself and look. Two, if you feel like you just are not making enough, now it's time to find some different ways to bring in some more income and have those difficult conversations with your employer to say like, hey, these are all the things that I'm doing. I have all of these skills. Are you willing to pay me more? Because these are the list of things I'm contributing to this organization. And if they say no, at least you asked, right? And now that's your opportunity to say, okay, what next? What am I willing to do so that I can bring in some more cash flow into my life so that I can get out of this cycle and give myself some more financial breathing room? So yeah, that was money, mindset, and lifestyle for Friday. But I want us to really like start paying attention to that because it's exciting when we get more income, but we also have to like take a moment and get very clear on what we want to do with that income when we get it. Also, not overloading ourselves with expenses every single month because we have more income. Just because your income increased does not mean your expenses have to increase just as fast as your income increases. Take some moment and like knock out some debt, even if it's 6 months that you give yourself. Even if it's 6 months that you give yourself to work through your finances, that is going to be the most life changing 6 months of your life. I'm telling you, like, just saying like, you know what, for the next 6 months I'm going hard. I am focusing on increasing my savings, right? Whatever your goal is, I'm focusing on increasing my savings, which means I'm going to make some tough decisions, right? And I'm going to delay some gratification so that I can save up as much as possible. So maybe I'll only get my hair done once a month, or maybe I'll get my nails done once a month, or maybe you know what, I just won't get my nails done for 6 months and take that 60 or $120 and start putting it towards my savings, right? Or if credit card debt or debt is something that is weighing on you and you're like, I really need to free this up so I don't have all of these monthly payments every single month, then focus on that. Give yourself 6 months and cut all the other BS out and just focus on that. Like sometimes people are in a space where they don't want to sacrifice anything or they don't want to let anything go. And it's just like, oh, I'll make more money or I'll just do the next thing and I'm not going to worry about it because of whatever reason. That's fine. Make all the money you want to make. But in the process, in the meantime of you getting to the extra income, come up with a game plan to get you out of the debt and all the bills and everything that you have to pay every month so that you can give yourself some financial breathing room. That is going to reduce your stress tremendously. It's going to allow you to show up so powerfully, like walking in a room knowing that you can manage your money like a boss, right? knowing that you do not have a ton of debt and bills and expenses and all these things you have to worry about allows you to sleep better at night. It allows you to show up in your relationships, not just your personal, your intimate relationships, but your professional relationships, your relationships with your children, your friendships. It allows you to show up more confidently at ease and just your authentic self without the stress and the worry about finances. Like having control of our money really touches every aspect of our life. It also touches our health, right? Because if you're stressed out, what's going to happen? Inflammation and all the other things that are related to stress, hypertension and strokes and all the things, right? Like, who wants that when you can just say, like, you know what, I'm going to take 6 months and I'm going to pay off all my debt and save my money? Like, it's a no brainer. But for some people, it's not, right? So, I'm going to get off my soapbox a little bit and just say that I invite you to book a financial wellness call with me. If any of this touched you because you're like, you know what, I need to do something different, but I don't really know where to start. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 30, and I feel like I should know how to do it. Y'all, listen, it wasn't until I was like 30, I don't know, like 30. I'm closer to 40 now, that I really started paying attention to my finances and building a healthier relationship with my money. And that also did not start until I really started to look at myself and say, like, I deserve more. This is not the life that I want to continue to live. I don't want to be stressed out about money. I don't want to be working paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to be the person that puts everyone else's financial needs before mine. I really want to have, yes, like nobody wants to be up at night worrying about money. Like, and we have to like have that moment with ourselves where we say, enough is enough. I'm tired of this shit. Like, that's just what it is. It all boils down to being tired of being tired. And you are then going to have to make some tough decisions. And sometimes those tough decisions look like leaving a long-time employer because they're not paying you enough and they're not willing to pay you more. Sometimes that looks like you leaving a relationship that is not allowing you to grow, right? Or not allowing you to see that there is more available to you. Sometimes that looks like you getting connected with people that are outside of the people that you would normally connect with so that you can see that there's more available to you. That was the moment. Those were the moments when I realized like I was playing small, y'all, and I was living in a life that I didn't have to be living in. My coworker, we made the same amount of income. She was a homeowner. She had savings. She was going on vacation all the time. And I'm like, girl, what you doing? Because we got the same salary. I'm confused. And it was because that she was like the no nonsense. I'm going to take care of me first. And I am also going to live my best life and I'm going to make the most with the income that I have. Second part was getting exposed to someone who was having a home, who had a home-based business, and then being in a room full of women who were making 6 and 7 figures in their business, and these women lived like 15 minutes away from me, and I'm like, hold up. I'm clearly doing something wrong if these women live 15 minutes away from me and they're 6 and 7 figure earners in their business. And here I am working this 9 to 5, making $40,000, thinking that I'm balling and that I'm doing something good, right? So it takes for you to get exposed to new things to see that it is possible for you. And it also takes you to get tired of doing the same thing over and over on the hamster wheel, going into work every day and busting your butt, working in circles around people who are making more money than you, and then wondering why you're not getting ahead. It's because you don't think that you deserve more. You're not allowing yourself to get ahead. You're staying small because your mother or whoever told you to work hard. Stay in that job for the rest of your life because that's where it's at. No, that's not where it's at. You got to move on and do the next thing, right? Read some books, get into some of these communities that there are people doing more than you. Get into these spaces where you can learn something from someone versus feeling like they're competition or like, oh my gosh, she thinks she's better than it. No, she don't. No, she don't. She don't think she's better than you. She wants to educate and support you, but you are not allowing yourself to open up and receive the information that she has because you're too worried about what you think she's thinking, right? Like, all right. Friday, y'all. And I did not work today, so I have a lot of energy. But I said all that to say, book a financial wellness call. If you are in a space where you're like, I'm tired, I'm a high achieving woman, like my income has increased, and now I am like, I don't want to mess it up, or maybe, I've already messed it up and now I need to figure out how I can get out of that space and I need support. Maybe I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm ready to be fully transparent about where I am financially. Meet with Nishea.com. Book your financial wellness call. It'll take you through my application process. And when we get on the call, I'm going to talk to you about where you are and where you want to be and why is it that you think you got to where you are now. And if I think you're a good fit for us to work together, then I will talk to you about my one-to-one program, which is Radiant Wealth Accelerator, where we will work together for the next 90 days. And we will really get clear on where your money is going. We will optimize your finances so that you're making the most with the income that you have every single month. We will create a effortlessly easy way to save and increase your cash flow. We will also accelerate you paying off your debt. So get very clear on a debt payoff plan so that you can execute and make it happen. And then we'll also work on your relationship with money. Because it's one thing to look at the strategies, right? Yes, we can budget, we can save, we can pay off debt, but how many times have you done that and it has not been a lasting long-term effect, right? If you've done it a couple of months and then you're like, screw this budget, I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. Or whatever, right? Life starts happening and then you forget about the budget. Well, when was the last time you looked at your relationship with money? How do you think about money? How do you talk about money? What are your feelings towards money? Are you resentful for the choices that you've made in your past and it's still haunting you and coming up every single time you get money, right? We're going to work through those things so that by the time we're done working together over the next 90 days, you really have a healthier relationship with money that allows you to really look at some of the triggers or things that might come up for you when you get more money so that you can work through them and also feel more confident and comfortable with having an additional income or money in your bank account to where you don't have to feel like you have to give it away as soon as possible, right? And the beauty is that you have me there, like in your back pocket, that whole 90 days that we're working together. That's the part that I love. One of the parts that I love the most is that my clients can message me and be like, hey girl, like, look, I want to make this financial decision. Let's talk about it. Or to just celebrate. One of my clients just messaged me this morning and celebrated how she's getting all of her tires replaced for free, $1,500 that we had already set money aside to go into her savings bucket to cover that a year from now. And I'm like, yes, girl, yes, like keep on celebrating so that you bring in more good stuff. But that's the beauty of having me as your financial coach is when you need someone to talk to about your money, just know that I'm there to support you so that you don't have to feel alone. Even if it's the simplest question of, I want to go shopping and I want to spend an extra $50. Can I do it? Well, first, I already show you how you can do it on your own without talking to me. But if you still want to just talk to me about it, you have me, right? So book your financial wellness call if you're like, okay, I need that support. I need all of that in my life, right? The investment to work with me for 90 days is $3,750. And yes, I do offer payment plans, but there is a nice incentive. If you pay in full, you get to work with me for an extra 2 weeks. So why wouldn't you do the full payment? But just know that that is available to you. So y'all, this was Money, Mindset, and Lifestyle Friday at 6 p.m. So I will be back again next week around the same time. So I posted something on my Facebook timeline that says, ask me any questions and I will answer them live at 6 p.m. So go to that post if you want me to talk about something specific, or if it's something that you don't want to be broadcasted publicly, then direct message me with your question and I will answer them live so that not only you can benefit from it, but other people can also benefit from it. Because more than likely, if you have the question, so does someone else, but they don't know who to ask, or they're maybe embarrassed to ask because they feel like they should already know it. So y'all have an awesome evening. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all next week. Later.